Hi, welcome to the Forecasting for Success podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Brie. I'm a doctor of psychology, financial educator, astrologer, and founder of Forecasting for Success, a community of people improving their financial literacy to achieve financial independence. I blend my expertise as a former professor and financial intelligence analyst with the tool of astrology to help break down why you are struggling with specific money habits and the best way to form more intentional responses and choices when it comes to money, especially to help you feel more secure in your financial decisions and improve your money skills for building long-term wealth. Welcome back to the Forecasting for Success podcast, the show where astrology, personal finance, and spiritual self-discovery meet the real world. I'm here to help you align your money with your values, tap into your cosmic timing, and build the abundant life you deserve. First, let's check in on the Venus transits of this week that can impact your money. Venus is currently in the sign of Cancer at around 25 degrees, which means it is presently trine to Saturn in the sign of Aries and opposite to Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. When Venus is trine to Saturn, this is an excellent time to organize your finances. And what's more exciting is that Saturn is currently retrograde and at an Aries point, meaning it's at 0 degrees of Aries. So the energy of right now could not be better for actioning your money and getting it in order to align your finances to your short-term and long-term goals. This is the moment. This is the perfect time to have a money date with yourself and get clear on your values and how your money can support your values, as well as how your money is working for you day to day and how it is going to do the heavy lifting you need to get to where you're going in the future. Venus trine to Saturn is a great time for reviewing how you spend your money and what or who your money supports. So if you see any changes that need to be made, then now is the time to assess how you're going to action any of those needed changes. This transit helps you reconnect or stay connected with your core values and what you truly believe in. This transit helps you have an easier time with setting intentions and actioning any changes you do need to make in a realistic way. Venus opposite to Pluto asks us to be intentional with where or who you are giving away your attention and to make changes if needed to better align with your values. This transit is more challenging and may cause you to obsess or to fixate on things that are not helpful or not a good use of your time and energy. So remember to check in with yourself and ensure that your attention is being directed more inward this week to review your behavior and patterns, vice what others are doing. This is not the time to be dishonest with yourself. So act with integrity and use this energy to plan and move forward with purpose and a clear path that you've created for yourself. Now I'd like to switch topics and discuss 7 money mistakes and how to fix them. If you've ever made a money mistake and thought, oh, I should have known better, well, you're definitely not alone. We all make mistakes with money, sometimes little ones and sometimes big ones. But here's the thing, even small missteps can have long-term consequences when it comes to our money. The good news is that most financial mistakes are fixable. And with a little awareness and planning, many of them are totally avoidable in the first place. So today I want to walk you through 7 of the most common money mistakes that I see people making and exactly how you can turn them around. So by the end of this episode, you'll have practical tools you can use right away. And hopefully you'll feel a little lighter knowing you're not the only one who's ever stumbled when it comes to money. And I include myself in that as well. Before we dive into the list, let's talk about why money mistakes happen. Because honestly, it's not always about just not knowing any better. When we're under pressure, when we're anxious or stressed, our decision-making gets clouded. Stress literally impacts the part of our brain that's responsible for planning ahead, problem solving, and impulse control. That means we're more likely to make short-sighted decisions that may feel good in the moment, but is likely to set us back long term. Here's the encouraging part though. When we know better, we can do better. Awareness is the first step, and that's exactly what we're building today. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the list. Mistake number one is not having a budget. One of the biggest mistakes is not having a budget at all or not sticking to the budget or spending plan that you've created, which should be aligned to your personal values and goals, both short term and long term. Without a budget or spending plan, your money can slip through your fingers without you even realizing it. A good starting point for a lot of people is the 50-30-20 rule. This means that 50% of your income goes to needs, 30% goes to wants, and 20% goes to savings. And remember that that's just a basic guideline. You can shift those percentages at any point depending upon your goals. So for example, if you're tackling high interest debt, you might reduce the wants category and put a higher percentage towards the debt repayments. The key here is intention. Every dollar needs a job. And the good news is you don't need to do it all manually. Use apps, spreadsheets, or even the budgeting templates that I share in my financial literacy course to make it easier. Mistake number two is living paycheck to paycheck. And this one can feel exhausting, right? Always waiting for the next paycheck and never having a cushion. Sometimes it's because your income is too low to cover both present and future needs. Other times it's because your spending is happening without a plan. If you do have enough income, I recommend trying a zero-based budget. This means that every dollar you earn has a purpose, whether it's covering rent, investing, or even treating yourself with something small that brings you joy. And if income is the challenge, then the next step is looking at ways to increase it, because a budget alone can't solve every financial problem. Start small with a buffer. So 1 month's worth of expenses saved in a high yield savings account. Then build towards 3 months and even more. Automate wherever is possible. This includes your savings, your investments, and your debt repayments. Mistake number three is ignoring high interest debt. Nothing drains your financial progress like high interest debt. It eats up your income and creates unnecessary stress. My favorite way to tackle this is using the debt avalanche method. This means you list your debts by interest rate and attack the highest one first while paying the minimum payments on the rest. Once that highest interest rate is paid off, roll the money that you were paying towards that debt onto the next one. It saves you money on interest and gets you out of debt faster by using this method. Mistake number four is not saving for retirement early enough. The one thing that none of us can buy is time. And when it comes to retirement savings, time is the most valuable factor. The earlier you get started, the more compound interest works in your favor. And the steps here are quite simple. Step one is to open the right investing account for your situation, whether that's a 401k, a Roth IRA, a brokerage account, etc. Step two is to automate your monthly contributions. And step three is to choose either index funds or ETFs as your investment. And that's it. It really is that simple. And if your employer offers a retirement plan like a 401k, make sure you're at least contributing to get the full match because that's free money. Investing doesn't have to be complicated, and the earlier you start, the easier it is. Mistake number five is impulse spending and lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep happens quietly. Maybe you start ordering takeout a little more often, or maybe you treat yourself with online purchases that don't really count. But over time, these little things really can add up. One trick I love is the pause rule. If you think you really want something, wait 24 hours and see if you still remember it or want it a day later. And here's another trick. Invest first and then make a purchase in the same amount. So if you want to buy something for $100, put $100 into your investment account first. If you still want the item afterward, then go ahead and buy it. That way, you're investing in yourself first, specific to long-term goals, while still also enjoying the present. And if you get a raise, don't let it all disappear into lifestyle upgrades. Redirect that extra money into debt payoff or savings first before you move into spending it. Mistake number 6 is not updating your financial goals regularly. Goals are not set in stone. They can shift as life shifts. This is why it's important to check in with yourself consistently. I like to boost my money intentions by tying them to the moon cycles. So, for instance, full moons are for checking in on debt reduction, and new moons are for checking in on your income and savings goals. It keeps the process consistent and aligns with reflection and intention setting. The point is to check in, adjust, and then keep moving forward. And lastly, mistake number 7 is skipping insurance and emergency planning needs. I know that insurance isn't exciting, but it's one of the biggest protectors of your financial health. From health insurance to renters or homeowners insurance, these things exist to shield you from large unexpected costs. And if you have dependents, don't forget term life insurance, wills, and trusts. Emergency funds and insurance work hand in hand. One gives you a cushion and the other protects you from losing that cushion unexpectedly. So those are 7 of the most common money mistakes I see, and now you know how to avoid them or work towards making corrections. Remember that mistakes may happen. The goal here is not perfection, it's progress. What matters most is that you take action today, even in small ways, and stick with it. If you're wondering where to get started, I've got you covered. Take my free financial personality quiz and get a step-by-step personalized money plan with resources to help you get started and stay on track when it comes to your money. You'll find the link in the show notes. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future conversations about money, astrology, and empowerment. And if today's episode helped you, please share it with a friend or family member who might need encouragement too. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And until next time, remember, your past money mistakes don't define you, but the choices you make today can absolutely transform your future. I want to thank you so much for joining me this week on Forecasting for Success and let you know that you can read the transcript for each podcast episode on my website, which is linked below in the show notes. I've also included the link to send me your money questions if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast at forecastingforsuccess.com/podcast. And if you're ready to get started on improving your financial literacy and developing your own personalized money plan, I encourage you to join my Forecasting for Success community, where I teach you everything you need to know about budgeting, how to choose your retirement number, how to invest in the stock market, and so much more. I go live in the community each month to check in on your progress and help answer any questions you may have. And it's a supportive community where you can also check in with other members and learn from their experiences as well. I hope you take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you next week.